What's up, everybody? I was thinking how I could start creating some video content, and I got the idea that, when I make these occasional videos, I think I'm going to make them about some of my favorite pieces, or make some things that are a little bit uncommon or a little harder to track down so people can get a chance to see them up close and personal. I'm going to try and make everything as high quality as possible, but then also break down some of the things I've learned about collecting over the years and some details that may hopefully open the eyes to a lot of new collectors or answer some questions that you're trying to find online but just can't seem to track down. So I thought the first thing that would be great to talk about would be my vinyl and cassette for Infinite, which you all know is Eminem's first studio album. This was recorded and put out pre-fame, so he hadn't quite rose to the stardom we know today. This album came out November 12th, 1996, and it was under Web Entertainment. A lot of his early stuff came out under Web Entertainment. This album was produced by Eminem, Jeff and Mark Bass, otherwise known as the Bass Brothers, and Mr. Porter. During this time, M was signed with FBT Productions and was working by washing dishes at Gilbert's Lodge, which was a restaurant. M's goal was to make the songs radio friendly on this project. He was hoping to gain some more exposure. He was looking to get on Detroit's radio stations. He really wanted to start making a name for him in hip hop. This album was only pressed officially on vinyl and cassette, and it didn't do very well. In the book, The Way I Am, Eminem said it sold maybe 70 copies, but I've seen a lot of stuff online that says it sold just under 1,000 or something like that. A lot of that stuff's never been officially confirmed. Either way, it didn't do well. A lot of people said he sounded too soft on this record, and definitely compared to his newer stuff, he was very soft. And as you've heard on the song Guts Over Fear, had to change my style. They said I'm way too soft and I sound like AZ and Nas. Out came the claws. That's pretty much describing that whole experience about Infinite flopping and needing to get something, change something, do something different. And that something different was bringing that alter ego Slim Shady. And following Infinite, he put out the Slim Shady EP, which was the first witness to this alter ego. A little bit more into the album, the track list. So this is definitely something you can look up online. It starts with Infinite, then into WEGO, which is the interlude. It's Okay, Tonight, 313, Maxine, Open Mic, Never Too Far, Searchin', Backstabber, and Jealousy Woes 2. Things I like about this album was it kind of had that classic rap feel. It shows the early stages of how lyrical M was and how quick-witted he could be. Obviously, compared to what he puts out these days, it was very tame when it comes to content, but it makes sense when you're an up-and-coming rapper just trying to get that radio play, trying to make a name for yourself. So most of us know this tape is very rare and crazy hard to track down. So I wanted to spend some time shedding the light on real versus fake and hopefully answer a few questions I've seen over the years as well. The album was only made officially by Eminem on vinyl and cassette tape. Kind of mentioned that earlier. I say that again so you can rule out any CD version you come across is a fake or bootleg. There was no official CD that Eminem sold of Infinite. The term reissue gets thrown around a lot too. Around 2016, 2017, there were some CDs and cassettes that were made to mimic the official artwork and were listed as reissues, especially on like eBay and sites like that. It's important to know that all these are fan-made and not official. They tend to get up there in price too because they're decent quality and people confuse other buyers by using the word reissue. But just know all reissues are unofficial. The cassette floating around with a blue tape is unofficial. It's not a reissue, it's fan-made. There was also some CDs that made the print of the vinyl on it. It looks really cool. If you can get it for like $20, great. But it is not official. Some people like to jump on these reissues because it's harder to track down a real one, and that's fine. It's definitely more common than finding an original, but don't overpay for them. There is a chance that maybe M will do a reissue of Infinite, especially on some sort of anniversary, but if he does, it's going to be launched on his site. There's going to be a campaign, emails. It's going to be very public, very well known. Here's what you need to look out for when you're tracking down an authentic original vinyl. The darker purple coloring in the center of the vinyl is one way to know that you're on the right track. And there's two versions, one with an address and one with not. Both are official. The address kind of wraps around the center of the vinyl. You're also going to want to look for the matrix number scratched onto the vinyl. Back in the day, they used to actually scratch these, I want to say by hand, on the vinyl itself, on the black part of it, and it's going to have the markings Web 714VA or Web 714VB, depending if you're looking at the A side or the B side of the vinyl. There is a vinyl press that is designed to look very similar to the official one, but has a much lighter purple to it. That is fake. It's a good boot to own if you can get it for a good price, but it is not official. There was also a little bit of confusion thinking that there were a first press and a second press for a while with regards to the address, thinking that the first press had the address around it and the second was no address. But it has been confirmed that there was only one official press. Just half of those had the address and half didn't. As for the cassette tape, one big giveaway is usually the cassette itself. Cassettes back then were made with black screws in each corner, so make sure if you're looking into a cassette they have the black screws in each of the corner, because modern day cassettes are pretty much plastic only, and all the original ones definitely had the black screws in them. And with all these cassettes being from the 90s, expect some wear and tear on them. If the cassette is in perfect condition or the seller is listing it as perfect, that's definitely a good reason to be a little suspect. I love the wear and tear on my cassettes. I think it shows the history, and I'm never too concerned about a scratch here or a little bit of wear and tear, because I just think that adds to the authenticity and makes it that much more special. Now this is important. No matter where or who you're buying from, always ask for pictures before you hand over the money. Ideally pictures that you can tell they were taken and are real. Ask for them to put a pencil or some sort of marking or date into the photo so that they took it. And when you buy, try to use a service like PayPal, so if you get scammed, which has happened to me many times, you're protected and most likely can get all your money back. It's the unfortunate thing that Eminem collectors are targeted a lot by scammers because there's such a high value to some of his merch and some of his original work. So be on the lookout, always be overcautious and safe. Anyway, Infinite is such an important album to an Eminem fan. The frustrations Eminem was left feeling after this album flopped and that increased pressure to make it so he could support his daughter Haley created the man that we know today by the name of Slim Shady. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'm going to try and answer them all. But I am curious, do you guys like Infinite? Is this something that you listen to regularly? I know it's a little harder since it's not on streaming services. But anyway, let me know if you like this type of content and would watch more. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow, like, and share. Appreciate you guys, and keep on collecting.